Hello, good evening and welcome to Express News. I'm Gautam Roy and this is your one-stop stop for all the fast updates, all 100 of them in just a matter of minutes. Let's begin with the top story. Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar met a delegation of 18 farmers associations from 12 states today. The meeting was held under the leadership of All India Kisan Coordination Committee. The farmer leaders submitted a memorandum to the Union Agriculture Minister to extend their support to 3 farm laws. Thanking farmers for their support, the minister also asked the protesting farmers to look into the benefits of the 3 farm laws. Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar and Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal met Union Home Minister Amit Shah today at his residence and discussed issues related to the farmers' agitation. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh said that agriculture is the backbone of our economy, which supported it during COVID-19 pandemic. He added that new reforms in agriculture law are for the welfare of farmers and the government is ready to address the concerns of the farmers. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh further said today that the government has taken various steps to effectively deal with the COVID-19 pandemic. He said financial assistance and food security have been provided to the needy during the COVID-19 crisis. In his address at the valedictory session of the FICCI annual conclave, Rajnath Singh said Atmanirbhar Bharat package, which is worth 20 lakh crore rupees, has provided relief to the poor, workers and small industries and helped in mitigating the effects of COVID-19. He said Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan is a watershed moment in India under which several historic policy decisions have been taken. The BJP has accused the opposition of misleading farmers on the new farm laws. Addressing a press conference, BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra accused the Aam Aadmi Party leader Arvind Kejriwal of playing politics over farmers' issue. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan accused the Congress of playing politics on the new farm laws. He said that all the 3 laws are in favour of farmers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will undertake a visit to Dhodho in Kutch in Gujarat tomorrow. He will lay the foundation stones of several developmental projects in the state. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has held her first pre-budget consultations with top industrialists in New Delhi in connection with the forthcoming Union Budget 2021-22. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has said that India has handled the coronavirus situation very well. Addressing the International Coronavirus Short Film Festival in New Delhi, Javadekar said that the crisis of COVID-19 pandemic was identified very quickly by Prime Minister Modi in January itself. Niti Aayog today released a white paper, Vision 2035, Public Health Surveillance in India. The white paper lays out India's vision for public health surveillance through the integration of 3-tiered public health system into Ayushman Bharat. The vision of this white paper is to make India's public health surveillance system more responsive and predictive to enhance preparedness for action at all levels. The BJP won both North and South Goa Zilla Panchayat elections with 31 seats out of 47 that have been declared so far. Main opposition party Congress slipped to 3rd spot with 4 seats, while at 2nd spot Independence won 7 seats. BJP President JP Nadda congratulated Chief Minister Pramod Sawant for the thumping victory for the party. Final phase of local body elections in Kerala witnessed huge turnout as it surpassed the first and second phases. And according to the latest updates, final and third phase of local body elections has recorded 77.13% voting, with the Malappuram district recording maximum of 77.78%. A 6-member interministerial team is visiting the flood and landslide affected areas in Kalburgi, Vijayapura and Udupi today. The team is assessing the damage caused during September and October when the state witnessed a downpour of rainy days. The winter session of the Maharashtra State Legislature began today in Mumbai on a busy note, with the government tabling various bills, ordinances and supplementary demands. The session is also witnessing protests from opposition members on various issues. The much-discussed Shakti Bill intending to curb crimes against women has been tabled in the Maharashtra Assembly. Before the Maharashtra Assembly session began, state BJP legislators held a protest outside the Assembly over various issues, including Maratha reservation, inflated power bills and compensation to farmers after the recent floods and heavy rains. Iconic beaches in Tamil Nadu have been reopened for tourists starting today. They were earlier closed following the COVID-19 restrictions by the end of March this year. Sensex ended at fresh closing peak of 46,253, up 154 points or 0.34%. The S&P, BSE, Sensex and NSE Nifty 50 indices closed at all-time highs on Monday. Nifty was up 44.3 points or 0.33% at 13,558.20. The Indian rupee ended 8 paise higher against the dollar at 73 rupees 57 paise amid buying seen in the domestic equity market. Gold and silver futures prices in the domestic market slipped on Monday. Gold futures on multi-commodity exchange were down 0.45% by 222 rupees at 49,102 rupees per 10 grams. Silver futures also dipped 0.49% or 310 rupees to 63,425 rupees per kg. Crude oil futures rose nearly 1%, edged higher to 3,468 rupees per barrel. November WPI inflation at 1.55% versus 1.4% month-on-month. Primary articles inflation at 2.72% versus 4.74%, and manufactured product inflation at 2.97% versus 2.12% month-on-month. The Ministry of Finance has released the 7th weekly installment of 6,000 crore rupees to states to meet the GST compensation shortfall. Out of this, an amount of 5,516 crore rupees and 60 has been released to 23 states, and an amount of 483.4 crore rupees has been released to 3 union territories, including the Legislative Assembly of Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir and Puducherry, which are the members of the GST Council. India has crossed a landmark milestone in its e-health journey. E-Sanjeevani telemedicine service of the Home Ministry has crossed 1 million teleconsultations today. India's active cases today stand at 3,52,586. The share of active cases in the total positive cases has further shrunk to 3.57%. This is the lowest out of 149 days. The total active cases were 3,58,692 on the 18th of July this year. Now, the daily recoveries exceeding new cases have ensured a total net reduction of the active case load. A net decline of 3,960 cases has been recorded in the total active cases during the last 24 hours. 27,071 new cases were added to the national tally in the last 24 hours, whereas 30,695 cases have recovered in the last 24 hours. The daily recoveries are exceeding new cases for the last 17 days. The total recovered cases are nearing 94 lakh, that's 93,88,159, which translates to a recovery rate of 94.98%. The gap between recovered cases and active cases continues to grow and presently stands at 90,35,573. 75.58% of the new recovered cases are observed to be concentrated in 10 states and union territories. Kerala reported the maximum number of single-day recoveries with 5,258 cases recovered. Maharashtra follows with 3,083 new recoveries. West Bengal recorded another 2,994 daily recoveries. 10 states and union territories account for 79.46% of the 336 case fatalities reported in the last 24 hours. 20.83% of new fatalities are reported are from Maharashtra, which reported 70 deaths. West Bengal and Delhi followed with 47 and 33 new deaths respectively. Now, India is moving swiftly on the path of recovery, and intensive testing has played a huge role in this process. According to the Indian Council of Medical Research, a total of 15,45,66,990 COVID-19 tests have been conducted till now in the country. About 8,55,157 tests were conducted yesterday. The global coronavirus cases the numbers have crossed 7.26 crores, and there have been 16 lakh deaths worldwide. The total number of recovered cases globally stands at 5,876,211. The US continues to be the worst affected from the pandemic in terms of infections and fatalities. The US has reported over 1.67 crore cases. It also has the highest number of fatalities in the world, from the virus reporting over 3.06 lakh deaths. The situation in the US is expected to ease a bit, with millions of doses of new vaccine being expected to start rolling out from today onwards across the entire country. The first batch of shots are expected to be aimed largely at healthcare workers and residents and staff of long-term care facilities. The first vaccine was approved late Friday by the US Food and Drug Administration and is expected to touch off a mass inoculation campaign of unparalleled dimension to end the pandemic. Workers at a Pfizer Inc. factory in Michigan dispatched the first shipments of its COVID-19 vaccine on Sunday, launching the largest and most complex vaccine distribution project ever in the US. Germans are facing up to a new nationwide lockdown coming into force from Wednesday. All non-essential shops, schools and beauty practitioners will close under the new restrictions. Private gatherings will remain limited to no more than 5 people from 2 households, and although the rules will be eased slightly over the Christmas holidays. The new restrictions beginning next week include a blanket outdoor alcohol ban. The new restrictions were announced by Chancellor Angela Merkel on Sunday. Italy plans to set up primrose-shaped pavilions in its artistic squares to dispense vaccines against coronavirus during a campaign that kicks off next month. Architect Stefano Boeri has donated an architectural and communicative concept behind the anti-COVID-19 vaccination campaign. The circular structure of the pavilions can be easily dismantled and reassembled and will rest on a prefabricated wooden base, which will also be used for supporting the various systems in the internal rooms. The government of Bangladesh has signed an agreement with the Serum Institute of India to procure 3 crore doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. The vaccine will be delivered in 6 installments of 50 lakh doses each. Health Minister Zahid Malik told the media after the signing of the agreement that the vaccine has proved to be safe during trials in different countries and it is suitable for Bangladesh. A shooter who had opened fire at a Christmas show in front of St. John the Divine Cathedral in Harlem has died after being shot in the head by the cops. New York Police Commissioner said the man had a lengthy criminal history and was carrying a bag containing a can of gasoline, rope, wire, knives and a Bible. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen on Sunday announced that the European Union and UK negotiating teams have been mandated to continue the post-Brexit trade talks beyond the end of this weekend. After a constructive and useful phone call with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, von der Leyen said that despite the fact that deadlines have been missed over and over, we both think it's responsible at this point to go the extra mile. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu welcomed President Donald Trump's announcement of a normalization deal between Israel and Morocco as a historic peace between us. Netanyahu said it would lead to direct flights between Morocco and Israel and that the 4th US brokered deal between Israel and an Arab country in recent months would be a very warm peace. In his address to the Climate Ambition Summit, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has hailed the incredible things being done by India in the solar energy sector, as he warned that the emergency facing the world from climate change was far more destructive than even the coronavirus pandemic. The British Prime Minister reiterated the UK's pledge to radically cut dependence on fossil fuels. First snow of the season fell on North Korea's capital Pyongyang on Sunday. Most areas in the south of the central area received over 5 centimeters of snowfall. Australian researchers said that the population of coral reef trial on the Great Barrier Reef in 2016 have not only survived recent bleaching events but are on track to reproduce and spawn next year. Houses festooned with Christmas lights are some of the only festive attractions which remain possible in Germany and Austria this year, with traditional Christmas markets cancelled due to the coronavirus pandemic. Customers are lining up at the Jerusalem Bakery Cafe for the Abu Dhabi Donut, a date-flavoured confectionery inspired by Israel's new relations with the United Arab Emirates. The donuts, called Sufganiyot in Hebrew, are a popular fare in Israel during the current holiday of Hanukkah, in which Jews traditionally eat deep-fried delicacies. In a rural area outside the Bolivian capital of La Paz, Marcela Roca de Hartmann brings the world to her home for Christmas in the form of hundreds of figurines she's collected from across the globe. Roca believes the Christian traditions surrounding Christmas can bring peace to those who have lost loved ones. Sports now, and world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua knocked out Bulgarian Kubrat Pulev in the 9th round to retain his heavyweight titles. With this win, Joshua has retained his IBF, WBO and WBA titles. This is Anthony Joshua's 24th win from 25 professional fights. He may clash next year with Tyson Fury, who holds a WBC belt. Max Verstappen cruised to victory for Red Bull in Formula One's season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Starting from pole, Max Verstappen led every lap and crossed the line ahead of Valtteri Bottas. It was also Red Bull's first win in Abu Dhabi since Sebastian Vettel took victory in 2013. Champion Lewis Hamilton finished third in the race. Hamilton took the title home with 11 wins in the season. Arsenal are now just 5 points above the relegation zone in EPL after a self-inflicted 1-0 defeat to Burnley. The Gunners failed to score from open play for the 7th time in 8 games as Burnley held on for their first ever win over Arsenal in the Premier League to move out of the relegation zone. Granit Xhaka's needless red card for grabbing Ashley Westwood by the throat turned the game in Burnley's favour before Aubameyang flicked Westwood's corner into his own net 17 minutes from time. Liverpool missed out on the chance to go top of the Premier League with a draw against an impressive Fulham. Liverpool needed a Mohamed Salah penalty 11 minutes from time to avoid an embarrassing defeat after a dreadful first half performance. Tottenham Hotspur took a 1-0 lead through Harry Kane's first half strike, but Mourinho's men failed to make use of the advantage as Jeffrey Schlupp struck a late equaliser for Crystal Palace. Spurs manager Jose Mourinho refused to blame Hugo Lloris after the keeper's mistake denied leaders Tottenham victory at Crystal Palace. Leicester City are closing in on the gap at the top. Brendan Rodgers' side clinched an emphatic 3-0 win at home over Brighton. James Maddison scored a brace while Jamie Vardy was the other scorer for Leicester. They moved to third spot, 1 point behind Tottenham and Liverpool. Lionel Messi scored the only goal as Barcelona returned to winning ways with a victory over struggling Levante in Spanish League. Barca's 5th league win lifts them 2 places up the La Liga table to 8th before Wednesday's home match with leaders Real Sociedad. Paris Saint-Germain forward Neymar was carried off on a stretcher with an ankle injury during his side's defeat by Lyon. Showbiz now, The Dark Knight, A Clockwork Orange, Lilies of the Field and Joy Luck Club are films directed by Ida Lupino and Catherine Bigelow and have been chosen for the Library of Congress's National Film Registry. South Korean filmmaker Kim Ki-duk died in Latvia from coronavirus complications on Friday. Kim, who had won awards at the Venice, Cannes and Berlin film festivals, had been staying in Latvian capital Riga in a private capacity after travelling to neighbouring Estonia for work. South Korean filmmaker Kim Dae-kook died in Latvia. Kim earned global praise as a regular at international festivals. His film Pieta won the Golden Lion Prize at the Venice Film Festival in 2012. The Kardashians are heading back to TV despite bringing an end earlier this year to the reality show that shot the family to fame. Streaming service Hulu on Thursday announced it has signed a deal with Kim, Khloe and Kourtney Kardashian, along with their mother Kris Jenner and half-sisters Kylie and Kendall Jenner. Under the deal, the women will create new content that will stream on Disney-owned Hulu in the US and in multiple countries overseas and star. The platform said the new content was expected to debut in late 2021. Walt Disney on Thursday announced a raft of new Star Wars content for movie theaters and its streaming service, including a feature film from Wonder Woman, directed by Patty Jenkins. The entertainment company detailed 10 new TV shows based on favorite characters from the sci-fi saga, including smuggler Lando Calrissian and droids C-3PO and R2-D2. Jenkins feature film called Rogue Squadron will premiere in movie theatres during Christmas 2023. The announcements came a year after Disney decided to pause the developments of Star Wars movies, one of the industry's most lucrative franchises, to focus on TV shows following the relatively disappointing box office takings of Solo in 2018. And today is the birth anniversary of Bollywood's veteran actor, producer and director Raj Kapoor. He received 3 National Film Awards and 11 Filmfare Awards. Actor Pankaj Tripathi has joined the cast of filmmaker Sajid Naryadwala's upcoming movie Bachchan Pandey. The film will be directed by Farhad Sabji. And wishes poured in for Bahubali star Rana Daggubati. He's turned 36 today. And on that happy note, that's all we have for the moment in Express News. For all the latest news, stay tuned to DD India and DD News. Thanks for watching.